Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and depending from where you're watching us from. We are live and we are direct. We are here to bring you the gospel of redemption. We are here to speak that bitter truth without fear or favor. If today is the first time of coming across our video, please like, subscribe, and share. All right. Before I proceed, I want to say something. You know, I said once I hit 100 1,000 subscribers, that will be coming live. Something just happened in the sense that the time that I ought to be doing the broadcast, these days, I don't always be at home. And we are 7 hours or almost 7 hours ahead of Biafra time. So by the time, like 7 p.m. Biafra time is 1 a.m. If not 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. early out in the morning. And between this period, I don't often be at home. I'm outside. You get the point. But this coming Sunday, I must make sure that I create our time to come on live program or to come live broadcast. I believe subsequent time I will adjust. It's just that every midnight I don't often stay at home. That's the reason why. All right. But this coming Sunday, I must be live. I must make our time. I must be live. I must do live program. All right. There's something I want to say. And I believe how sensible people, how reasonable people do things is this. When something happens, it's required of a reasonable mind to sit back, ponder how that thing happened and what led to that thing and what signs that showed itself before that incident happened. I repeat myself, the way great thinkers, the way reasonable people does is when something happens, as the profiling solution to that something that happened, they will as well ponder what led to the thing that happened or the signs that showed itself before that thing happened. What am I saying? Biafrans, if we have not learned anything from what is happening now between Biafra and Ngozi Oradeze, if we have not learned anything from what is going on now, there is 101% chances that what happened now will happen again if we don't take precautions and measures. If we don't take precautions and measures, you see this thing we are seeing now, we will still see it again. And one thing about me is this. I don't like it. If you know me very well, you know that. I don't like if I'm with you. One thing about me is this. If you can convince me and I give you my word, I tell you, Bobo, Ugai, I'm with you. Man, I'm with you. Nothing whatsoever will make me to back down following you. The only thing that will make me not to follow you is when I discover that not what we discussed at the initial stage before I followed you is not what you are not, is not what you are doing again. And before I do so, before I show you that, man, I'm not with you, I will first of all call you. I will first of all remind you, guy, a guy, not be waiting we discuss so now they see so. I don't understand where they go like this so. I will try give you reasons. I will try give you reasons, so boy. Man, this one way they do. I mean, I don't understand again. Oh. If I discover that, man, you are hell bent in taking that part, I will voice out. Voice out. What am I saying, not here? If truly you know you want Biafra, if truly you know that you have stake in Biafra, it's high time we who are fighting for our freedom will start checkmating each other. don't care to know who that person is. Be the person our leaders or we got to be checkmating each other. That's the only time we can say enough is enough to all these things that is happening now. It's high time we start checkmating each other. You know, one thing about leadership and the led, or leadership and the followers, it works hand in hand. When the leadership has problem, it will affect the followers. When the followers have problem, it will affect the leadership. In other words, is a combined effort. For if you see any people that have a positive result, if you see any nation, if you see any company, if you see any establishment that is recording a significant progress, check that establishment. Both the leadership and the followers, they are doing what? They are up and doing, and they are checkmating each other. This is what we are lacking in this Biafra. And this high time we inculcate this habit. It's high time. The Igbos we know. That is why when all these colonizers came in Nigeria, according to the report of Lugard said when he amalgamated that damn nation called Nigeria, the report he wrote to Queen, he said other tribes in Nigeria, there are many ethnic groups in Nigeria, but they have three major tribes in Nigeria, according to his report. He said, in terms of indirect rule, he said it worked perfectly in the West, worked perfectly in the North, in the sense that all those empires, they have established themselves in the sense that one person determines what others does or what others, follow. The same thing with the North and the same thing with the West. That is why they have Oba. Whatever Oba said is final. That's why they call BAC. Whatever Oba says is final. The same thing with the North. Emir, all those, they are traditional, whatever. But according to Rudad report, he said about the eastern part of that Nigeria damnation called Nigeria or Nega area, that him, Lugard, finds it difficult to control these people because they have this system that not one person, is very difficult for one person to determine what the entire tribe or entire community will follow. What am I saying? Let me elaborate more. He said sometimes he will discuss with the Obi or chief. The chief will tell him, Lugard, that he has to wait, that he has to relate to his cabinet members. Are you getting me now? He has to relate what him, Lugard, told him to the cabinet members so that they will dialogue on it. Now, after relating it to the cabinet members, at the process of dialoguing on those or debating on that subject matter or that topic, Lugard presented to the Obi, the chief, the Eze, depending on clans. Because some people call their listing Obi, some call Parafom, some call Eze. Depends. Now, at the process of the cabinet members of the Eze or the Obi or the Igwe is adulterated this thing. Igwe, no. Before the coming of colonial masters or the colonizers, what we have is Eze, Obi, Opara, and so on, etc. Now, at the process, the cabinet members of Igwe is deliberating on that issue. The youth, what's the youth called? Youth on their own will be do what? Will be indicating interest on that subject matter. Even if the cabinet member conclude, if the youth, I've forgotten what they are known as. Then Omuada or Omuopo, they are also there. Ndinze, they are also there. Ndinze is different from the cabinet members of the Eze or the Obi, as the case may be. So, Lugard said, man, these people, is very difficult to control them. It's very, very difficult to control them because one person don't decide something that happened in the entire community or in the entire tribe or in the entire clan. It must be deliberated. Why am I saying this thing? It seems that we have deviated from what we are known for. We've deviated from what we are known for. And that is why we are suffering in this quest for Biafra restoration. Until we fall back. Until we fall back to do what? To adopt that system which we are known for. And this is the perfect democracy. That is why we all watched a video where one white man said that Igbo, that tribe Igbo gave democracy to the world. What is democracy? That you are the king, that you are the Eze doesn't mean that you will say or you will lord it over your subjects. It's not done where we come from, in Biafra, where we come from. It's not done. So, what am I saying? It's high time we study why we are having this front and back, because I myself, all those why we are, going gaga on media, courtesy of what Ngozi and her Alamajiri followers have cost us, was asking myself, what is the cause of this problem? How are we going to solve this problem for this problem not to repeat itself again? And this idea came to me that the reason why, since we want to go back on how we were before the white man came, this is the system we are adopting. This is the system we are using that makes our society very perfect society. In the history of Africa, it's only that Biafra land that never conquered anybody or that never went into war in a fight to conquer or to enslave people. In Yoruba fought series of war. Most of these states in Yoruba, they were not Yoruba, but they became Yoruba out of what? Conquest. Allah fear for you. Out of conquest. Same thing in the north. It's only in Biafra land that such never happened. That is why we have this adage that says, Onye biri, ibeye biri, egbe bere, ugo bere, nke si ibeye kwena, nkukwa ya. Live, let live. Biri can biri. And if you watch, in your place, I'm talking to Biafrans now, in your place, in your community, we have kindreds. As I am now, I cannot leave my kindred to go to another, and even let this kindred, the next kindred be close to my house. I cannot go where they are having their meetings. Let me speak this one in Igbo language. I wanna meeting without them calling you for questioning of one or two things where they are having meetings. Have you ever go to any meeting that is not your own? It's not done. Whatever they are doing, it's none of your business, since it's not your kindred. This is how we structured our place. We structured our place in the sense that that is why even I've been a larger family. Abia, like our society, we have our forefathers. They marry multiple wives. At a time, they will have a general meeting, in the sense that all the children that born, they will assemble for a meeting, including the wives. Then after that meeting, each wife will go back to their tent na mkpuke ha, otu ụmụ nke ya, to have their own meetings. That is where emechaa na ndị nna ji aga na ndị nne ji. This is how we structured our place, so that enwe gịnị, enwe orderliness. It's high time we start checkmating each other. If all of us will tell ourselves this truth, that is why I said I am always here to speak that bitter truth without fear or favor. If none of us, including people who are in this cabinet, will not say that this thing Ngozi is doing today is a surprise to them, and when you hear this thing, it's just that you all know, or you all knew, or decided to keep silent. Do you see a behavior? Maybe none that is actively in this Biafra restoration will not say that what Ngozi is doing today is a surprise to him or her. We all saw the handwriting on the wall, and some people who summoned the courage to speak up at the initial stage, some people who summoned the courage to speak up, they tagged them Sabo, and they said they are fighting PM. This is where we are getting it all wrong. This is where we are getting it all wrong. That you call out the person who, that is why every good leader, MNK said it, that the Biafra we are looking for is not the Biafra that you, once they elect you into office, you become Alpha and Omega, that the subjects, the people whom you are looking cannot talk to you. And it's not that kind of Biafra we are looking for. That they will criticize you, that we should start now to do what? To learn that critique. That you cannot rule Biafra without criticism. That criticism is what makes every nation, every viable nation, what makes their leaders to have to be on their toes is the critics from their citizens. Critics from their citizens. That will do what? That will make their leaders to be on their toes. They will know that if they mess up, their followers will criticize them. And for them to avoid that critics, you have to do what? They have to be up and doing. But in this quest, we that said that Biafra is the beacon of hope to black nation. We don't understand this nation we are fighting for. Only if we understand you, we know that in this fight for Biafra, it's like no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. You see, Chiamaka Jere, the Deputy Information Minister, you see how he talked to Adade Oramma with love. Before now, they were having it back and front. Before now, serious log ahead. But now Adade Oramma have come back to her senses and realized her mistakes and decided to amend her ways. You see how Chiamaka Ajere, the Deputy Information Minister, welcomed him back, said he is not here to have personal grudges with anybody, but rather he is here for the freedom of Biafra. That is to tell you, no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. All we are here for is our interest. And what is that collective interest? Biafra. That collective interest is Biafra. Biafra first. So I don't see the reason why we will see our leader making mistakes. What we have to understand is they are human. They are bound to make mistakes. And we should stop seeing them as a superhuman. They are not superhuman. It's just that the mantle fall on them to lead. And at the process of leading, they will be making some mistakes. It's left for you followers to correct him. You know, we black people, we are stubborn and we have ego. If you talk to that our leader, we will talk to that our leader in a very calm way, and that our leader don't want to listen. Man, when I hear by a hard way now, the most important thing is this: don't lie against that leader. Don't blackmail him. You know, most of us don't understand. We are misinterpreting blackmail. When you see that this person is doing what is not right, if you point out those things that the person is doing that is not right, they will target blackmail. No, that's not blackmail. Blackmail is just to fabricate what the person never did. You fabricated it and said the person do so. That is blackmail. But when you are pointing out that, man, this thing you are doing, this thing you are doing, this thing you are doing is not right. It's not a blackmail. It's high time to know that it's our responsibility to checkmate our leaders. If we fail to do so, if any of our leaders fail, we collectively failed. And for us not to fail, we want to do what? We have to checkmate our leaders. Anytime you see they take some certain decision that is not right, it's our responsibility to speak out, to call them to order. That he is there leading is because of us. If there are no people who our leaders are leading, that means they are nobody. Why then can't you speak when you see that your leader is going astray? Why can't you speak? Must you wait until everything crumble like what we are saying today? Must we wait until it gets too late before we start waking up? To me, that is why there are some things that will happen. Man, people who knows me very well will tell you, see this one is avoidable. See this one, I will tell you see this thing that happened, man, is damn avoidable. It's just that negligence and stupidity ready to happen. On a normal day, this is avoidable. There are some mistakes, there are some disaster that is avoidable. Like the one we are seeing today is damn avoidable. But when people speak up, they try to suppress that person. It's either they call you Sabo or you are fighting against the leader. You see, you are fighting against the leader. Some people will start ranting that you are fighting against the leader. You've never sit down to say, take all those points this person is pointing out. Are they factual? Is there element of truth in it? Any small thing, Sabo. If we don't stop this habit, if we don't stop now, you see this thing that happened now, it will still happen again, over and over and over and over and over again. If we don't stop this habit now, I have checked what is happening. Today, I know it's time avoidable. Because Ngozi showed a lot of signs that look at her mission. Look at her mission. Showed a lot of signs. Listen, Biafrans, let me tell you guys one thing. Africa have a lot of principalities and powers. And we should not forget that like country like damnation called Nigeria, we are fighting to liberate ourselves. The principalities and powers are controlling that place. Do you think that Nigeria, they are only fighting to stop Biafra, carnally or physically? Do you know the sacrifice? Do you know both human? Do you know sacrifice they are making on daily basis to stop Biafra? Do you know sacrifice they are making on daily basis to get the spirit or to get the spirit of people leading us in this Biafra restoration? Or do you people think that is is a clear eye that MNK, knowing fully well what Africa is all about, and decided to move to Kenya. Do you think it's ordinary? Do you people actually think it's ordinary? Do you think ordinary MNK will leave Britain or other Western nations or other nations? Or we have Kenya. We boga. No, it's not the ordinary. Do you people actually think it's ordinary? It's not ordinary. If you know the number of sacrifice, in that man, I am megiteru, ogu ha wogiteru, yiri na ha megiteru, we totanwo MNK to Kenya before they announced stroke. It's not ordinary. You, when you heard that MNK was in Kenya, gave in your mind. Didn't you ask yourself, what is he doing in Kenya? Didn't you ask yourself, of all nations in the world, Kenya were Gaga? Didn't you ask yourself that question? What is he doing in Kenya? Ordinary. Spirit controls the physical. It's not ordinary. Do you think that what Ngozi is doing? PM, no. Let me tell you guys now. The day PM made her his COS, people who were in his cabinet, and then on a cabinet would attest to this thing about say. PM told Ngozi, don't hand me over to Nigeria. Don't hand me over to Fulani. The thing I beg in arrow. The thing I touch gay, I bet to gain arrow. Because ordinarily, with that word. Not that now I made you COS, you go and hand me over to Nigeria, over to Fulani. And don't know this government in exile will attest to this thing I said now. PM himself knows that Ngozi on a mission, but he was overwhelmed. Oma. And you think it's ordinary? To me, I know it's not ordinary. It's not ordinary. I know it's not ordinary. On a normal day, PM wouldn't have. That is why there's a video I made. I said, mind the kind of people you collect gift, you collect money from. It's very important. PM, government in exile, was desperate for money. Let me tell you guys what happened. Was desperate for money because ego giolo, ego can need. You all could remember when PM said, only when people needed $10,000. Things orders. Everywhere saloko. That was the time Hassan is Ngozi. That was the time they sent Ngozi. Ngozi came in with money. Knowing fully well now, PM is eager, ready to deliver. Ready to deliver, actually deliver at all costs, ASAP. Only that if he has opportunity, only hands on missile, not game when that's rock. If you look at him then talking, you know that only are ready, and the zoo for now, he is damn ready. Nigeria noticed that he is damn ready. Na mazin nan the canon emokutu when they get on to the mazin nan they can, at least if they can talk to people, stooges around the mazin nan they can. If they can talk to those stooges will start disturbing mazin nan they can. Mazin nan they can will give the listening ear. But they are finding it difficult. They don't know who they will talk to Simon. Simon somehow built war around him, and the people who are closer to him are like minds. These are people who are not ready to listen to any damn person. We are Biafra. So Nigeria was finding it difficult. Unlike when MNK was around, they have many people to talk to that will talk to MNK, but in the case of PM, nobody. So when PM said, I need money, $10,000, if I can have it so time, I know the kind of tools I will purchase to hit the ground running. That was when they're sending us, and because he came in with money. But PM, he said, then mgbe emesịrị na-enye ka ha nọzi ka alata ya ego nwaanyị na-abata ime etu ọgwụ dị involve etu ọgwụ ọ bụrụ obere ọgwụ etu nnukwu ọgwụ dị involve were na-abazi ime na-penetrate at a point PM block well. That is why me with access to men on ground access here. That is why I'm thanking God for that PM never revealed anything about men on ground to this woman. And she kept on complaining. Especially say, PM don't carry me along. Look at, he doesn't even tell me this. That is why in one of his videos, say, when PM takes a certain decision, you'll be asking yourself, why would Odogu take such decision? Out of frustration, could you work with that word? Out of frustration. Because somewhere the key thing, actually, with that one, finance, secondary, men on ground. Based on that, on here with ego with that, all fleet kind of man on the and a bank glory on our login in the US. Oje with ego and to say with that. Some people put the ego say, Chebina money, no wahala, we're gonna give you money. Well, ego baby, men, I need the ego. Before I need a donation, more ego. With you with ego, you'll be having access to some certain things. Next year, that new dimension mandate. This is how organize here. Because always donor, financial donor. When you're back a PM peg the barrier. That is where PM peg back with the barrier. When it comes to men on ground, don't want anything damn thing or man. Even when PM was around, even how money is getting to men on ground or Maro. She calls one of the cabinet member on de facto in Homeland when PM was called for question. She called somebody, asked the person, how are you guys giving money to men on ground? How are you guys disbursing money to men on ground? The person said, I don't know. PM will only tell me to give so person. This person will give so person. Out of frustration, the woman said, told the person that you don't understand this PM self. That you don't understand the man. The man don't even know anything. That PM is not even carrying her along. This is what Ngozi told the person. So PM was supposed to block Osiaya. And I hear access to. That is why she always keep complaining. That is why people heard what Adari Ramba said. The reason why we put that on, especially that man on ground, the PM any chance that side. What you say? I am compiling information when the time comes. Because only access to men on ground. So what am I saying in nutshell? It's high time we guys to be checkmating each other as I am here. Anytime you guys discover that I'm going astray, it's you guys' responsibility to call me to order. Say, guy, no be waiting with tell no you know they do now. What is happening? No be as you take start, now they see you. It's you guys' responsibility to checkmate me. It's you guys' responsibility to checkmate anybody who is propagating about Biafra on media. Anyone you see or anyone you guys see that this person is going astray, it's your responsibility to be calling that person in the comment section. Tabani oko na comment section. Uno chayo block on the comment section. Uno WhatsApp. All of us we are hearing everything that is happening. We hear blankly away from WhatsApp group. They are not talking, but any voice note you guys are making, they are listening it. Or with the voice note. It's you guys' responsibility. You guys should not fold hands and watch until the end of the. This is what led us to this point. Also, when I was MNK at a point said every Friday, he said, come with question and answer. Ask me that question. That everybody is open for learning. There was a program he connected one time, said, man, he has learned what he never knew today. He said, at the course of this every Friday question and answer, he himself is learning. Nobody knows it all. There is somebody that called him one day, said one or two things, okay, I heard what you said. I will make amendment and I will call the principal officers. I will ask them what exactly is going on there. I could remember then, was it Cotonou was having issues? Somebody called. The person said, I've been trying to table this matter to the African rep, all those kind this thing then. African rep, this one, but none of them could pass that message to MNK. Until that live program, the person now called, MNK said, oh, that he don't know, nobody told him, oh, so this is what is going on in Cotonou. I will look into it myself. Do you see it now? So you guys should stop when somebody is pointing out, look at what is not going on right, going on where you start calling that person Sabo. Anything you see that is not going on well in this Biafra restoration, and somebody will make on a Sabo, every midnight, you could choke who be okwu to onya who could toy offer. Gotagona, onya who could toy offer can you fembe? Then Okuris no Japoki Sabo, on a Poki Sabo ni free hana haga right. You put in her drum Mopoge Sabo. One every midnight he would do Soji. Would do Soji 7, would he make better with all Jibu? Would he make better? No one was Sabo. He had when he was able or but now when I want to write man or he made a sabone free drum Emaya affected the struggle near Kuni had drop a mile I corrected that mistakes on time. Mother Mepon was able to attack it Biafran upon one or in our body the leadership you could be joke say nay zip one din around they are in spirit, they sees all, they understands all. Had to warn ya sabo. Hatch over that person or a sabo. You could say, will also jagap. Also, Jana Heji Fede. Natural when out or sabo. Umechiquaya la hola, Umono Mitchell, and then when I only hear Biafra Chobert. I can see the reason why somebody will point out what is not going on right. On that way, sabo. At the end of the day, the reason why that person is crying out, screaming, shouting, look at this thing, will let her happen. Will let her happen. And you see that idiot, you feel that useless fool. Not one mother sabo. When you point to the hand, you can have no hour. They have no cause damage. You can limit you only for bad mission. At the end of the day, that person, Yaho, Onya for who, Emechame, if that same idiot or whatever on a WhatsApp group, they voice note, not attack is the same person. They point to the hand in Onya for destruction, or attack what was that person. Whereas now we hire owner, everybody put their mouth together. I call what they did by leadership. Because they are leading the people. They are accountable to the people. Now the people are not calling them. What we don't understand this person. No. Please, I want you guys to set up a committee that will investigate this person, that will look into this guy, this person. Look at the things we discovered about that person. Or if you all everybody. Like in Kegorana Keta, no, everybody na suffer now. We're supposed to go far. Moko far karega. Moko far karega. Urumaka, Kaarese, Ofarasu, the Chiono, since nobody want to talk about it, close your mouth, don't talk about it. Close your mouth, don't talk about it. Since you are saying it, nobody want to believe you. Close your mouth. Onya konyo na now because why I'm saying this thing that is happening, I saw it 2023 and I speak up. Abom sabo, sinamo sabo, that I'm a sabo. Because now she look at this Ngozi, in the history of freedom fighting, all the books I've read about freedom fighting, I read about South Africa own, I read about Sudan own, Eritrea own. People who are in the other side, who are in the side of the oppressor, anybody that decided to turn a new leaf to join the liberation movement, you cannot bring that person in the circle of the decision-making body of that freedom fighting group. Is unethical. Is unethical. I gave instances when PM wanted to join. Some people say, no way, politician, no wonka, no wonka, no wonka. PM came out, whooped up passport, yeah, TIA, became the passport. See, I want this gold, I want this medal in the name of Nigeria, and return it back to the embassy of Nigeria in Finland. That henceforth, all Nigeria disassociate himself from anything that has to do with Nigerian politics. And anybody, even the list of local government or councillor, on in contact before. Now, who decide they can fight it, not block and chanine, not caught on every ties. It has to do with Nigerian distinct, the same thing applicable to MNK. And I asked, since Ngozi is occupying a very sensitive position in Biafra government in exile, has she denounced Nigeria public reporter? I say because she will be privileged, she will have privilege from certain informations. Now, why I do privilege to have some certain classified informations about this government in exile? That is why I'm worried. Bom Sabo, today, that knows some information, and when the time comes, Oga begin, Oga pass into information to the relevant authority. It now boils down on what I said, because she will, via the virtue of the position she occupied, she will get some certain information. She will be privileged to some certain information. The same information she gathered. That is why she said everything going on in government in exile, and also between her and PM, knows the information. Knows the information. But this is what I lamented at the initial stage. This is where we are today. This is where we are. Nobody knows now. And now back and front. Look at the other day, Ambazonia, Dr. Shuaeba went to court in Norway. The outcome of the this thing is that no need of detaining Dr. Shu Ayaba. This is what they ruled in the court. The prosecutor was running up and down. The judge said, Shu Ayaba has no case. You know why it's so? People who are in the governing council of Ambazonia, and if you see the prosecutor who stand for La République Cameroon, she lacked information, he lacked material to present before the courts, because the people who are in that governing council information on how to nail Shu Ayaba. Reconcile it with our own case. Reconcile it with the case of Biafra. Ngozi told people no one energy information, and when the time comes, she went to Finland and had meetings with Abuja regime representative who came to Finland in preparation of the forthcoming case of PM. Unanafia. Any moment from now, they will set Dr. Shu Ayaba free. And you guys see what Ambazonia Governing Council, followed by a multitude, brought by a crowd. Look at them. They know exactly what they want. They know what they want. Very focused and determined. Look at our own. Them mother Jupiter Benin and them mother no. The Sabo Taria. A lot of Sabo everywhere. Reconcile the case of Dr. Shuayaban with the case of PM. Now the case of PM is that the person he chose as the COS, Chief of Staff, who is like a secretary, said she is gathering information to nail PM even before the time that she is waiting for the appointed time. And before this thing happened, I've said this thing before, Biafrans, the last thing I will do is to come and sit here and lie to you people. I can't. More assassin, so because somebody put them and say, okay, when me way, and I will not take it lightly. That is why I'm conscious of lying against anybody. I'm conscious of lying against anybody. Ngozi told people that she's waiting for her appointed time to strike, that whatever she is doing with PM, they are all documented, that she's gathering information. And the people she confided all those things to never bothered to call PM to tell him, see what in this woman they talk, be careful. Be careful. Look at where we are. You guys will listen to what one of our comrades said. You will listen. And also listen to what Madam Erewa said. Because I could remember when Madam Erewa made that voice note. Instead of people to look into what Madam Erewa said, I try everything possible means to do what has suppressed Yaya, which they finally suppressed. They even told the woman to make another voice note, which the woman did. But the question and the truth of the matter, the person she called out being Ngozi Orabeze, what is she doing today in this Biafra restoration? She called PM, said, are you the one running this government? Or Ngozi Orabeze is the one running this government? Why is it that you will make some pronouncement? You will make a video, you make a broadcast, say some things. This woman will contradict it. This woman will say otherwise. Are you the one running this government, or is it Ngozi that is running this government? I said this woman have showed a lot of signs that look at her mission. She clarified her mission. She made her mission so clear that anybody who said they never knew that this woman will do what she's doing today before now, that person and have 1 year. It's just that no one know Sabo. And I said, yes, I will speak up, I will say it, call me Sabo. But one thing I know for sure is that I trust myself when it comes to Biafra. I used to tell people, in my first life, I died because of Biafra. I reincarnated. Sometimes I have decided several times to do as right this issue of Biafra, make I come on high. But before I know it, I will still find myself talking about Biafra. I will find myself talking about Biafra. I can't help it. So I can't just stand by and watch things are not going wrong without speaking up. I can beat my away from, like what very dark man said, Osina, if you bring pastor here, between him and the pastor, who they lie, he said that pastor they lie, no be him. He get to a point where somebody will believe himself, trust himself. That guy, very dark man, believe himself, trust himself that he has disciplined himself, both his spirit and his physical being, that no matter time that is why he is so confident of himself that if you bring that general overseer, between him and that general overseer, tendency, there is 100% chances that that general overseer will be the person that will lie, not him. The same way I have disciplined myself in this quest for Biafra restoration. Oh, you also about that here. Eh? Anybody you bring, I am confident in, if you see me, I am 100% confidence on myself that instead of me to betray Biafra, no, the other person will betray Biafra. I can never, or remember to nature itself. It can't even come to my thinking. I could remember after the rendition of MNK, Bruhaha do too much. Nah, attended DOS or call like tomorrow no day. I know some people, two called me from US, one called me from UK. He said, "Man, you have voice. This one, what will happen after talking rubbish? Say, I want to give you money for your for subscription." Ask the person, the number you called, is it Nigerian number? He said no. He said, do I look like a hungry person? I said, maybe you don't know me. Let me call you video call. I switched to video. I said, you've seen me now. Do I look like somebody that is hungry? He said, no, so I don't need money. Join me, Gogi. And you cannot silence me not to speak the truth. I said, how can DOS tell us that they are not aware that MNK got missing? Couldn't communicate with them for 8 to 10 days or 11 days. And they ranked him. His number not going through. And they are sleeping and waking. That 10 days. They say, come on. They say that this thing, I told them that this thing is enough for them to resign. Because on no circumstances that will make you occupying that position. And their principal officer never heard from him for days, knowing fully well that you guys have a project. Because that was when they newly launched ESN. Didn't hear from him, and you relax. The next thing, it was from Nigerian media that we heard that MNK was in Nigeria. So what if they buy MNK in Kenya? One day they will tell us they don't see MNK again. No. This was the things I was telling those people. Say, not everything. There is a way they do it. Not by attacking DOS. I say, hey, no call me again. No. If you come here, I will insult you. That was how I ended the discussion with those people. One thing about me, when you see this thing, or even generally, and I go conscience more. I am that person that somebody will call that, man, I have issue. The game matter where I get to settle. I want you follow me. I beg, CCCO. I will ask you, how far? Tell me true too, because if we reach there, if I say that you they at fault, I will before everybody I will say that you they at fault. And I don't do them several times. So I don't do them several times. So I'm not that kind of person that you can easily buy. I don't have much, but the one I have, I'm contented with it. So long as I'm eating, taking care of my bills, it's enough for me. I cannot buy my conscience. In conclusion, I want you guys to listen to what this brother said and to refresh our mind on what Madam Erewa said. That time, I believe you almost have forgotten that voice note she made that time. And the question is this, where is that Madam Erewa today? Where is Madam Erewa? A lot of people whom we all started through autopilot that stood firm with PM, stood firm with him, defended him with everything. If you see when they are defending PM, you will see passion, you will see love, you will see people who are ready to make sure that they sacrifice all for PM to succeed, because DOS and some people are saying that PM, he's an opportunist. He came to loot Biafrans. That Biafrans should watch. These people said, they stood by PM's side, said, no, we must make sure that PM succeed. Even when Nelly went as far as doing juju against those people. At the end of the day, it leaked. These women, they tackle mainly that tomorrow no day. stood with PM? Is it when Chinua Achebe and they Rosemary them post PM saying his son would die, said all manner of things, these people still came out, reversed the course, and warned those women. After that, they are warning, those women disappear from social media. Where are those people today, Biafrans? Where are those people? The coming of Ngozi destabilized a lot of things. The coming of Ngozi made a lot of people shed tears. The coming of Ngozi in this struggle make a lot of people, out of anger and out of bitterness, knowing what they've sacrificed to make sure that they built autopilot to that point before Ngozi came, said all manner of things. They are no more. Ngozi make sure that no chase Chalenda in out. Or not here now. Ngozi in a challenge. Nobody's challenging her. Biafrans just ponder if Umuada is here with us. Ngozi ageme her name. Ngozi will not do it now. Before she make move, I can stop here before time. They would have stopped her before time. But look at, you don't have free license. Up on a face here, on a face here, on a face here, on job by job, on a face here, unchallenged. Umada no rea, but I go in your no one. Hanging on what they bully na. Ah, Hano Munya no more de bully. Agwania coordina. Man, on na, why Macassi I follow their fellow women. And the harm of why now well like this or be an full from media. Because someone asked why you be. Women know women. Had he been one that still day, you think Ngozi will be coming and be shaking her head like idiots. They will face her squarely now. They know the things they know as they go take tackle them or full from media. But she succeeded in making sure that all those people were pushed aside or not. She's here, believing that it's now time that she anticipated that made her to be gathering information that she will use against PM. She believed that this is the time. And she is doing it unchecked. But I say no. You know, go grieve for her. One year. Before PM happened, I got to fear from this media. We will chase her away. Very soon, she will turn around. Also saw in the divorcee bay. Also in the divorcee bay, the Agnes. Eh? Also divorcee bay, and born up on Twitter. Also divorcee bay, and dear. Very soon, media. Eh? Their wife would attack his book because now their wife they marry them. Very soon their wife will shun them, shun all these media because they will shun them from going to rubbish to going to Zoom meeting or going to Twitter or nonsense meeting with Ngozi. Just watch out before the end of this March. Media Ngozi. Their wives will stop them from going close to Ngozi because women watching that woman, corrupt her. Very soon they will stop their husband from having anything to do with Ngozi. I greet you all, Genovia France. Peace and love. Mona, listen.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to say something, based on what our brother Uche is saying. Igbo, Ngozi Arabueze. I think Ngozi have come to the crossroad. And you watch the program she did, which Adadi Orama used last night. You will notice something. And I don't normally like talking about Ngozi Arabueze because she came to invade. Secondly, he who appointed Ngozi to represent him as a COS is the whole cause of all the problem. You must start touching where the problem is coming from. Because of this Ngozi, a lot of people were relieved of their duty. A lot of women, mothers, were relieved of their duty because of this Ngozi. I think then they didn't see what Ngozi is doing, but we know because of this Ngozi, Madam Mary, what them were relieved. Where are those women that fought? Those women that left where they are and went to Israel to meet Mazen Nnamdi. Because of this stupid Ngozi, they were relieved. What about Madam Azoka them? Because of this stupid woman called Ngozi, they were suspended. You never talk about it. Everybody shouting Ngozi, Ngozi. Well, you people not seeing it there. People were lamenting the same issue, but PM doesn't want to pay attention. The same thing that happened to PM during what do they call it, nearly of every time. Because when you left where the rain started beating somebody and started in the middle and say, rain is beating me, it's obvious. But that one apart. Any man that is born of a lion is a lion. But any man that is born of a goat is a goat. Too many people following that idiotic Ngozi. You will ask yourself, are they proper human beings? And when you check their mental stature and confirm they are proper human beings, they reason the way you reason, then you will know where they are or where they belong to. Ngozi already knew what she is doing, that he has already used the opportunity she got from Finland, to break the house. And we shouldn't be talking about her anymore. Since she has break the house and some people have followed her as a government, let us continue with the one we have and make sure that we contribute. Let those that had been, suspended due to Ngozi Orabueze's attitude, we should go for reconciliation for them and start seeking their cause and let them come back and unite with the house that are intact and let us do the needful.
Members of Biafra Republic government in exile, cabinet members. This is Madam Anirejurishe Erewa. I have been in this struggle. I have stood by our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, 100%. I have stood by Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, 100%. I have not done anything to sabotage this struggle. Yes. But when somebody is stepping on my toes, then I have to let the person know that I am indeed Madam Erewa. We went to the convention. The de facto government that was created, none of us was in the committee. I am summoning Simon Ekpa. I am summoning him. I am summoning Simon Ekpa to come and explain to us what is going on. Is it Ngozi Orabueze who is controlling Biafra Republic government in exile? Or is it the Prime Minister who is? We have to know this because I have evidence. I don't talk. I don't do a talking to. When we came from Finland, we submitted an appeal to Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa that the charter misrepresent coastal region. We submitted an appeal. He approved the appeal, and he gave us till December 4th, Monday, December 4th, to submit our amendment. Coastal people submitted that. I also have an audio voice from the Prime Minister himself, where he approved his own voice, and also he made a broadcast. The broadcast he made on Sunday, the 19th of November. People, please go play that or go listen to that broadcast. You will hear where he said, he even mentioned coastal in that broadcast. And he said December 4th. People, go listen to that broadcast. And we have been working. I have evidence of Ngozi Orabeze in the de facto government, where she gave a deadline of November 21 to November 23. Now, here we go. We are not in December yet. December, we are not in it yet. And Prime Minister, he overstepped his boundaries. I'm sorry. He's a human being. But he cannot do this. So I am summoning him. I am summoning him to come and explain why he made this broadcast saying that, Delta and all that bullshit. Listen, I'm not playing. This thing is going to be all head loose. All head loose because I've worked hard in this struggle. And look, don't let me share this audio because I can share it. And you know what will happen if I share it. I did it with DOS when they stepped on my toes. Please, members of this cabinet here, take this very seriously, or else, and you all know, I have been very honest in this struggle. But what this broadcast of Christian Uduazo, a DOS who wants to hijack the de facto, and you expect me to be quiet. I have been quiet, but not this time. If it is fight, we are going to fight it out. Because this broadcast is unacceptable.